Yeah, hi. I'm Nick. I started working with Gav a while ago. It came at a point in my life where I felt really bad. I felt really heavy, fat, and I felt at the point that by thinking that my 17-year-old would have to go to a funeral of his dad. And it's on the back of a long sort of story and history in terms of we did a renovation extension at home, lots of taking out, eat out, and I didn't know my weight. I felt uncomfortable. I felt unhappy, and I was talking to a friend, a mutual friend of Gavin and myself, who basically said that he tried this experiment on what Gav was offering, and I put a phone call in. It's proved to be the best phone call I've made this year. Gavin kept asking me, what's your weight, what's your weight? And I said, oh, well, I've always been around 115, 116 kilos, so I'm probably about the same. Clothes are still fitting really well, so it's all good. Anyway, didn't weigh myself and started on this diet, and it's not really a diet, it's a lifestyle as it turned out to be, but at that stage, in the initial, and at the start, I thought, yeah, let's do it, let's do this diet. I eventually did get on the scales and had this amazing shock that it was 128, and that was probably 1 or 2 weeks after we started. So I'm not really 100% sure what my original weight was before we started on this journey.
So how long has it been going now, and what are you at now?
So it's 3 months,
Yeah.
and I'm at 103 kilos. So I've lost 25 kilos.
Wow.
Which is pretty much 4 stone, I'd say, or just above 4 stone.
Yeah.
So really good. And in the past, tried a lot of diets. Tried paleo, tried Euro diet. It's one of those very low calorie diets, what I would call astronauts food. I met somebody on travels who was on that and lost a significant amount of weight. So tried that. That did work, but I lost probably about 2.5 stone on that, but then as soon as I stopped coming off that diet, I put it all straight back on. Lifestyle's always been a bit of a challenge, like a really busy work, lots of social events, lots of drinking, going out, meals, lunchtime dinners, lunchtime meals with clients and having alcohol involved. Very often, rugby club environment, peer pressure, let's have a beer. If people knocking on your door spontaneously in the evening and wanting to have a beer, and you're not going to serve them a beer and just sit there and not have a drink. So that happened quite a lot. Both myself and my wife, very busy work lives, and sometimes at the end of the day you think, oh, let's open a bottle of wine whilst we're cooking, let's have a glass, and then you open another bottle whilst you have your meal, and then you keep the other half of a bottle because you don't want to finish it, you don't want to feel too bad, but that sets you up for the next day because you start cooking, there's a half a bottle of wine open, let's have a glass. So yeah, life balance in that respect is really important. When I embarked on this journey with Gav, I knew it was possible because I'd seen the evidence from a mutual friend. And what I really enjoy about it is that you can still live, you can still have parties. I mean, I turned 50 over this 3-month period, had a long weekend of partying, and the education that Gavin gives you and how you can deal with these mechanisms, what you can eat, how you can eat, and what you can still enjoy yourself and still be losing weight is amazing.
Well, I remember in the first week, I think you had like a brewery trip or something, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. So there's never a good time to start, is there? Because if you wait for that perfect time to start, you're never going to start. And this is a monthly thing that we have booked with mutual friends. I remember saying to you when we had our first call, should I start now? Because I've got this brewery event, and as you rightly said, you can wait for the right perfect moment; it will never come. And it was interesting. I still had, I think, 5 or 6 pints. There was food stands there, and instead of the choices I would normally make, I went for the better option. That is part of what you're allowed to do in this lifestyle, in this diet, whatever you want to call it. So it worked out really well. I was still losing weight. And I was surprised actually the next morning, I was like, oh my God, I've had 5 pints, I had a couple of things to eat, and I've dropped weight, which was interesting. And then what was I going to say? The most important thing is about what you can still have to plow through. So I have had moments in this 3 months where I can call it strict. You really are paying attention of what you need to do, what you can do, what you can't do, and you expect that scales to go down. And there's been this week or so, and like it's stagnant and it's not going down. It's almost like a plateau. And I remember sending these messages to Gav, I've been really good and this is not coming down. It's like kind of like demotivating. And then the wise words were always, oh, well, just keep doing that. I think by Sunday, you will be probably, I can't remember, you'll be on 115 by Sunday, probably. It's almost like a wise man who had a glass ball who could predict exactly that Sunday. 115. So yeah, perseverance is definitely important. You just got to believe in it. You got to stick with it, and it's doable to live like this forever.
I think the other thing that you've done well, Nick, is you've kept up the communication and the dialogue, backwards and forwards, and checking in regularly, which is important. Sometimes clients think they've already cracked it, and they go off the radar. So I think that continual conversation, and just checking in on WhatsApp and stuff, makes a big difference. So. I credit you for doing that. Obviously, we still got, where are you at now and what are you striving towards now? Because you're not, fully where you want to be just yet.
Correct. Yeah. So I think my original target was like get to double digits, like get to 99. But then I gave that a bit more thought and I thought that's not quite enough. So I think my original target I set myself was 94 kilos. So from 128 to 94. So we're at 103 now, so not. I mean, it looks the finish line is really close, but there will be a milestone in between that to celebrate. As soon as I get to 99, the double digits, that will be a celebration moment. That's definitely going to be combined with a strategic overfeed, and then go further down from there. Once I get to 94, I think there'll be a reassessment to be made, because if you look at sort of what is your ideal BMI weight and stuff. Somebody my height, my age probably needs to be around mid-70s, 80 kilos. I'm not sure I'm that kind of person in terms of the sport and the exercise I do, but we'll reassess at 94, and if it's another stone or 2 stone, I know it's doable, I know it's achievable, or we can just maintain it.
Yeah, and what about the clothes and all the...
I think about 7 black bin liners went to the bin and charity shops over the last 2-3 weeks. It's amazing because I've always kept these clothes. First of all, you always had to buy bigger clothes as in when you put on weight. And although, like I said earlier in the story, my clothes were still fitting me, but that was after you've upgraded a couple of sizes already, and then you keep that sort of top weight, you keep fitting in those. Most of them I put on a t-shirt a couple of weekends ago, and my son said, "Dad, you cannot wear that. It looks absolutely big on you. It's like you're wearing a dress. Get rid of that." It's one of my favorite t-shirts. So I had to realize and give in and throw that all away. But I think it's a good thing, because if you keep the big clothes, you're going to say it's okay to get off the rail and I can put it back on because I've got so many I can wear. Just clean out the whole wardrobe, get the right clothes that fit you. But I'm a bit hesitant now. I'm not going to spend money on a whole complete new wardrobe, because I'm going to be losing another stone or 2 stone or 3 stone, and then I have to do it all again.
One of the questions that people often have is, how they think this is going to be like sustainable for the long term, like for the rest of your life. What are your sort of thoughts on that, and what you've learned and the new habits you've introduced? How do you think you'll be able to keep doing them?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think it's relatively easy to maintain, because there is still you can pretty much eat anything and everything you want, almost, obviously within reason. The coping mechanisms and the strategies that you teach are so easy to apply, and they can get you through doing this for life. Having also said that, I think I've got so much more energy. I feel so much stronger, so much more concentrated, that's automatically a motivation of continuing doing it.
Well, that just came to my mind. You said on that Zoom call you had. They said, "Oh, what are you on?"
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had a meeting with colleagues at work, and we were like half an hour into this meeting and said, "What are you on? I mean, you're so energized, you're so focused, you're like on the ball." And I hadn't realized that because I was just rambling off and
Yeah.
doing what I was doing, and people around me noticed the difference. And that was early on. That was probably about 2-3 weeks in, I would say.
Because that's the crazy thing is people think if they're on a diet, they're going to be feeling lacking in energy, and you know things are going to be hard, and they're going to be tired, and they're going to be hangry, and all that type of stuff. So that was a big realization, I think.
Yeah, so I've always been like a quick success person. Need to see successes, and I didn't realize how quick this actually showed success. And I've always been a person that had these cravings. I always wanted something to keep me happy. I was always very hangry when I was hungry. I don't have that anymore. And yeah, it's so much more balanced and so easy to maintain.
Cool. All right. Well, no, thanks a lot, Nick, for sharing. It's been a pleasure working with you, and maybe we'll do another one when we get 94 or below that.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Cheers. Mate.
Cheers.